deadpans, surrealists, and scripted spoofs galore. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 comedy actors of the 1970s.
18 years ago, they greet him in small towns by tying a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Then they try and hang him with it.
For this list, we're scouring Hollywood history to find the funniest comedic actors who ever graced a screen. We're focusing on performers from both feature films and television, but have decided to exclude talk show hosts and voice actors.
In order to be a success in television, you have to appeal to everyone.
This is part of a series of videos spanning the decades. Number 10. John Belushi. Born in Chicago, this energetic comedian rose to prominence at the famed Second City and became an original cast member of Saturday Night Live by 1975. His impressions were second to none, but it was his equally remarkable brand of physical comedy that led him to create the Blues Brothers with fellow cast member Dan Aykroyd.
I'm a soul man.
By the end of the decade, Belushi's legacy was firmly cemented when he starred as Bluto Blutarsky in the John Landis classic Animal House and became the prototype for collegiate party animals for generations to come.
Thanks. I needed that.
Number 9. John Ritter.
Oh, I feel so used.
As the son of a country music legend and an actress, John Ritter was born into a family of performers.
I don't approve of what you stand for. But in my book, you're okay.
After leaving school, he slowly worked his way up the comedic chain by landing television parts in iconic shows like Hawaii Five-0, The Waltons, MASH, and The Bob Newhart Show.
Ooh, you let me down. I had you pegged for a happy hazelnut hoo-ha.
Well, it just shows how wrong you can be.
Before snagging the role of his life as Jack Tripper on Three's Company.
What are you doing?
I'm loosening up my wrist.
I didn't know you guys had a practice.
With his screwball style of comedy, Ritter produced one of the most unforgettable characters of the 70s and closed off the decade by starring as President Chet Roosevelt in Americathon.
Lucy, I am the president. I've got an emergency budget meeting at 9 o'clock, an emergency foreign policy meeting at 10.
Charming and uniquely gifted, John Ritter will bring a smile to anyone's face just with the mention of his name.
What loss, Missy? You know, what is.
Number 8. Woody Allen.
The old lady at the end of the table is a classic Jew hater.
Born Alan Stewart Konigsberg, this Brooklyn-raised performer wrote comedy sketches for NBC as a teenager and hit the stand-up circuit throughout the 60s.
You honestly think that I tried to run you over?
You just happened to hit the gas as I walked in front of the car.
Did I do it on purpose?
By the mid-70s, Woody Allen had already directed, written, and starred in a number of box office hits. But it was the cinema classics Annie Hall and Manhattan that established him as the quintessential quirk of mainstream comedy films.
You're what Grammy Hall would call a real Jew.
Thank you.
His frenetic, insecure manner of speech is often imitated but never duplicated.
She said my Grammy never gave gifts, you know. She was too busy getting raped by Cossacks.
He hustled his way to the top and set the bar for all observational comics that would follow.
That's great. Yeah, that's terrific.
Number 7. Madeline Kahn.
Would you want me like this now? So soon before our wedding, so near we can almost touch it.
This former Broadway star was a Mel Brooks muse and a Bogdanovich beauty. She made her featured debut at almost 30 years of age and was so impressive in What's Up, Doc? That she was nominated for a Golden Globe for her performance.
Howard, who was that?
Who was what?
I heard a voice say something about getting dressed.
Beautiful and with a natural knack for inciting laughter, Kahn reached the pinnacle of her career in a trilogy of mid-70s Mel Brooks films, including Blazing Saddles, for which she earned an Academy Award nomination.
Tired of love uninspired.
By the end of the decade, Kahn was going strong with High Anxiety and The Cheap Detective, thus securing her role as the most hilarious female actor of the decade.
Open the package quickly. I want to look good tonight.
Number 6. John Cleese.
None shall pass. I have no quarrel with you, good Sir Knight.
This towering Brit began his career as a scriptwriter before establishing his own unique and wonderfully bizarre brand of comedy.
Camelot. It's only a model.
After making numerous appearances on British television during the late 60s, he co-founded the comedy sketch group Monty Python, which led to a groundbreaking TV show and cult film series.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
In Flying Circus, as well as his other farcical creation, Fawlty Towers, his black humor and stream of consciousness technique provided for spontaneous moments of comedic brilliance.
Splendid. Well, now that's settled, we'll have the fire drill, which will commence in exactly 30 seconds from now. Thank you so much.
And when combined with his remarkable script writing and physical humor, Cleese was at the top of his game.
I didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Number 5. Benny Hill.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
For almost 7 decades, this English comedian kept folks cackling away, especially during his brilliant run on the small screen.
He's not a bloody racehorse, you know.
Benny Hill not only starred in his own comedy program, but also wrote voraciously throughout the 70s.
How anybody could think that I'm trying to get my hands on anything that is not rightfully mine, I shall never.
His slapstick style of humor and spectacular impressions inspired would-be performers half his age, and the closing runoff sequence became an integral part of pop culture. Hill thrived with his edgy comedy and innovative production techniques, as he challenged viewer perceptions of what it meant to be politically correct. Number 4. Richard Pryor.
Amen, brother. It is good, too.
Inspired by Bill Cosby, yet intrigued by the early 70s counterculture movement, Richard Pryor made a significant turn towards artistic independence in the early 70s.
And there's a good place in this world for money. Yes, sir, and I know where it is. It's right here in my pocket.
Though his television show was canceled after only 4 episodes over creative differences, his more than 20 film credits of the decade established him as a true crossover star, with writing and starring credits in Blazing Saddles and box office hits like The Mac, Blue Collar, and Silver Streak.
1, 2, 3.
That was a fizzy. Put it late.
Hey, drop down.
You didn't put it late?
We'll throw again. 1, 2, 3.
See?
Pryor's commanding stage presence influenced a young Eddie Murphy, as well as many others, and he undoubtedly played by his own rules.
I'm in charge of who's going overboard. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Now put all your jewelry in this bag.
Of course.
Number 3. Gene Wilder. This icon of comedy made his film debut in the 1967 classic Bonnie and Clyde. And just 1 year later, he became one of the most prominent names in comedy by earning an Academy Award nomination for his work in Mel Brooks' The Producers.
That's right.
That kicked off the 70s on the right foot, and soon came his iconic portrayal of Willy Wonka in Mel Stewart's 1971 film.
Invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple.
A trilogy of Mel Brooks collaborations, and a burgeoning partnership with Richard Pryor that established Wilder as a legitimate box office giant.
Hey, maybe you should eat something first.
No, thanks. Food makes me sick.
He committed fully to his unforgettable characters, and his over-the-top hijinks kept audiences in stitches.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Number 2. Mel Brooks.
Are you crazy? They'll never go for it. And then again, they might. Little red devils, they love toys. May I try one?
Please do, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. These things are defective.
It's one thing to write and direct legendary 70s films, a few of which are considered some of the funniest movies of all time. It's quite another to consistently steal the show as well.
Okay, give us a hand here.
All right, sir.
Work, 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 work. Hello, boys. Have a good night's rest. I missed you.
Whether it was as Governor William J. Lepetamain in Blazing Saddles or Richard H. Thorndike in High Anxiety, Mel Brooks was a master of farcical scenarios that often had viewers crying from laughter.
Come on, we can do it. Loud and annoying.
Possibly even better known as a comedy director, his roles were few and far between, but when he did appear on camera, Brooks owned every minute. And that's how you do it in show business.
Well, here I go. What is this, a game show? What did I win, a pinto?
I'm sorry, sir, we're going to have to search you.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
What in the hell do you think you're doing here? This is a closed set.
Piss on you. I'm working for Mel Brooks.
Not in the face.
Wow, man. Hey, what was that shit, man? You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
No bed.
No bed? Thank you very much.
It's my piece. I found it, and I'm gonna put it up for auction. I just decided.
But it's half mine. We partners, ain't we? And I want to sell. We'll take it.
Wait a minute. No, not on the lips. The hairspray.
Get your hands off my girl.
I'm not your girl.
What was his name? Clouseau. Inspector Clouseau.
Number 1, Peter Sellers.
Ritter.
Over 10 years after first appearing in the career-making role of the bumbling Inspector Clouseau in The Pink Panther, Peter Sellers reprised his iconic role twice during the 70s and displayed what it meant to truly be a comedic genius.
What sort of stupid question is that? Are you blind?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yes.
From the walk to the talk, Sellers always brought a unique identity to his characters, and he bookended his Pink Panther roles with equally extravagant performances in The Optimists of Nine Elves and Being There.
This is just like television, only you can see much further.
With an uproarious contrast of highbrow characters and lowbrow humor, Sellers found a way to sell every aspect of his performance through extraordinary preparation and a natural gift for comedy.
I've seen it done before in a film on television
This
about a
won't hurt
hospital.
at all.
And it did hurt.
Do you agree with our list? Who's your favorite comedy actor of the 70s?
That's why I don't drink so much. Take acid either. White dudes take acid. They do. They take acid and go see The Exorcist.
For more mind-blowing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Life! Life, do you hear me? Give my creation!